You are watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftacademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.
So now let's start with lab number 41. So lab number 41 is where we are going to be installing the Exchange server on Nita EXEH02. So first thing, I'm going to log in on Nita EXEH02 as the administrator. Password 1350 is the password. Remember to always log in as the domain administrator or enterprise administrator, never as a normal user. All right, so once this is here, I'll right click on the virtual machine, click on settings, and I'll be mounting the Exchange Server 2019 CU14 ISO here. Open. Okay. Now I like to wait for the autoplay to show up on itself so that I can make it work for me instead of me going manually and doing everything. But in case you have to, you have to. There is no other way out. So don't check for updates right now because we don't have the internet connection for this. Remember, we are running a completely internal network, completely intranet communication here. So we can't afford to connect to the internet and have updates installed because it's also a trial license. So again, the licensing and everything will you'll have to update, you'll have to go through a few other extra steps. That is not worth the effort, if I'm being quite honest. Now this one is just next until we have to select the role, and then next until we have to specify if we have to disable malware scanning. We are disabling malware scanning because the latest malware database is not available for us. That's the only reason why. See, next. We select mailbox role here, and let's just make sure that you also select this icon here, automatically install Windows Server roles and features, which anyway is already included in it. We don't have to worry about it. Next. I'm going to disable the malware scanning because I don't have internet and I don't want to waste some time looking for it. So after I click on next, it will configure the prerequisites if everything is done right. And there is a fair chance that even I might have missed something. You missing something and me missing something is a very common theory that will happen in this entire installation process. There's nothing that you and I can do differently here. Remember that there's nothing that you and I can do differently here that we could have done differently somewhere else because it is not possible. All right, so I'll wait for this. To complete the the prerequisite configuration, and then it will also analyze the prerequisites. In case I'm missing something, I'll find out right away. Now my prerequisite analysis is done, so I'm going to click on install, and it will take some time for all of this installation to complete. So we'll wait for this installation to complete, and once it is done, then we'll verify if everything has been installed correctly, and then based on the requirement, we will do the next steps. So after a short while, you can see that my Exchange server setup has completed. I'm going to click on finish. Now I'll open my Google Chrome browser here, and on my browser, I'll type in Nita exeh02.netsoftacademy.com/OWA/ Outlook web app. Now at this point, all of you should be familiar with the Outlook web app, but do you see this part here? This is happening because of a small thing that we did not do. You go to start, you open your Exchange management shell. The Exchange management shell has to connect. It has to connect. Once it is initially initiated and it's connected, all the RPCs and everything are done, then you will be able to connect with it without any problems. Now remember that you need to initiate the remote procedure calls here. If the remote procedure calls aren't initiated, this will not connect and you will get this error here. Now, alternatively, one more thing that you can do is obviously you can go to your start all applications, expand all of this, and you can see the Exchange Administrative Center. If you click on that, that will open up in the Edge browser. So you see, but when you start Edge, Edge likes to ask you all kinds of weird, personally intrusive questions, which I don't like. You can click on Advanced, continue to localhost. And even then, if you notice, it will not let you move past a point because it cannot get the connection, it cannot get the request. See? So that is why we work on this part here. So first command that I'm going to run is going to be on this one, get dash. Now I'm saying it first, that command is coming in later. Mailbox server, and when I press enter, it will give me the mailbox server in this environment. Okay, perfect. So now if I refresh this and I also add the term HTTPS // see, works like a charm. Now I just like being a little bit difficult in these kinds of situations because I do not want, I'm very conservative. Let's just put it like this, that I don't want issues to be popping up anywhere or at all. In my opinion, there should be no issues at all. So I'm going to log in to the OWA. Once this pops up, it will ask me for the time zone. I'm also going to save my credentials here. I am going to save my credentials here. You don't have to. If you don't feel like it, you don't have to. Remember, I just do things to make my life easy. You should do the same thing as well. All right, and you can see this here that everything is looking like this. All right, so that means the Exchange Server installation is successful. Now, we are going to go to Server Manager, Tools, and Services. Now, under Services, I'm going to look for Microsoft Exchange Active Directory topology. So it should be right here, this one. Okay. Now this is running. The status is set to running. That is great. So then I'm also going to check if everything is set to automatic for Exchange. All the things are set to automatic mostly. And once they are set to automatic, then now one thing, yes, if you do not see your Microsoft Exchange notification services running, you can manually start them as the lab book suggests that you do. So let's see if I can find it. Microsoft Mailbox application, Mailbox delivery, Exchange notifications broker. That's what you're looking for. And you can see that I don't even have that anywhere. That's okay. That's not a problem. It's not a make or break thing right now. But in case we have any issues, we can always go back to it. Now, on your file explorer, go to this PC. On your file explorer, go to this PC. Go to program files. Click on Microsoft. Expand Exchange Server v15. And under this, you should see transport roles, mailbox, and client access. 3 things. Now, as long as you can see these 3 things, that means that everything is working. Now, the last thing is you can send an email to yourself as the administrator and just verify email flow. So for that, you can go to your browser again. Now, I will be using Google Chrome exclusively for this because I can just go back here and sign in without any problems. Click on New. I'm going to set this as the default as well. That task can wait. Administrator. This. Okay, today's date. All right. So November 13, 2025. This is the first email. And I click on send. Now, ideally, I'm sending the email from the user to the user. So it will be in my sent items. and it will show up on my inbox. As soon as the mailbox server figures out which server or which user the email is being sent for or sent to. So that's that. But that also concludes our lab. You can see that the mail has already been sent and you can see the mail is received as well. So that is the end of this lab here. So in the next lab, we'll be working more towards Windows client, and then we will be setting up the entire infrastructure, and then we will be looking at the other aspects. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next lab. Thank you.
Thank you for watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftakademy.com. www.netsoftakademy.com.